Hey, I'm kid number 1, Anya. Welcome back to season 17 of my mom's podcast.
Hey guys, it's Kid 2 Ari. Welcome to Cozy Podcast.
Yay! She's back. Welcome. I am back. I sound better than I've been sounding for the past 2 weeks because of kid germs. I felt so horrible that I was like, let me go down to the Walgreens and get me a COVID test, because what is this, right? And so I took the COVID test, and it's not COVID. It's just pure kid germs. And the revelation is, Anya tells me yesterday, there's a whole bunch of kids that are coughing and sound like they're dying in class, worse than I do. And they're still at school. And this is why all of our kids keep getting sick, because these kids sound like they're dying and they're still at school. Keep your sick kids home, because they're making the parents sick who have to take care of these sick kids. And it's a never-ending cycle, and they should not be going to school just so these schools can make money for butts and seats with sick children that have a cold that lasts 2 weeks or more. You know how much money I spent on cough syrup up in here? You know how much honey I've been buying, and it's not cheap when you buy it legit. Hey guys, this is the last episode of Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan. I am the mama of the girls, and I have a little bit to say, but a lot to say, but it needs to be said. I hope you guys had a great things taken. And if you didn't, I hope you enjoyed your longer weekend. I hope you didn't spend a lot of money shopping these fake sales. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, y'all. So what was on sale this weekend? On sale this weekend was the merch for the shops with the promo code GATHER22. So if you missed it, you missed it. And also for the books on lulu.com, those were on sale this past week, and for the weekend. So hope you got yours. I am working on a fourth book for the podcasting things. I want to create a journal that focuses on how you brainstorm your episodes and push it out in its entirety, because podcasting is 20% podcasting and the rest is all marketing your podcast and getting it out to new people and getting it out to the people that want to hear it. Okay, so this is my last episode for 2022 for Cozy Woman Podcast. This year I did podcasts from January 3rd up until today. All right, so that's 125 recordings in total. I just want to take a December break. I don't know why. I just don't feel the need to record in December for Cozy Moon Podcast. I think everybody should be enjoying their family, enjoying the work they have to do, enjoying relaxing and being in their home and being around their family and having a day of nothing to do. I have taken a lot of PTO days off for December for no reason, because I want to. That's it. Because I want to, okay? I started this podcast in 2018. And this year I focused a whole season on dads who are single dads trying to get back into their kids' lives. I focused the other seasons on parenting and tackling topics I haven't tackled before. And when I started this podcast in 2018, it was so easy at the beginning because I was coming up with what was unsaid content. And coming up with unsaid content that you personally haven't shared with a listener is way easier than coming up with content that someone else has said already or someone else has told you the story to already. It is 2022 and I am still talking, okay? The fact that I still have things to say this whole time is ridiculous. But at the same time, when you're parenting how you're supposed to parent, you should always have something to share. You should always have something to say, and you should always have something to learn from your kids. I am a mom of 2, still discovering new things about myself through my parenting. I do not have it all figured out, so don't feel like as a parent you have to have it all figured out, because you don't. I didn't have kids with the intent to marry their dads, because who said all dads were marriage material? Because they're not. Ari's dad is a man I believe needs to be single until the casket drops. I'm not saying he shouldn't date. I'm not saying he shouldn't have a woman that can handle his everything in his life. I mean, if she agrees with how he does things in a relationship, sure. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's not me. If Anya's dad decides to date, I'm not saying he shouldn't date. I'm just saying whatever woman can handle the lack that Anya's dad dishes out, hey sis, go ahead and handle that. It's just not me, right? And I think society this year has grown to see that you can co-parent with someone you do not want romantically. You can co-parent with someone who you may have had a relationship with and it did not work out. And you can co-parent with someone that you do not want to marry. Like, who said that had to be the ending result? And as a mom of daughters, I do my best to make sure that they have the space to make their own relationships with their dads. Not through my eyes, not through my window, not through my growing pains with them. They need to figure out their own kinks with their dads that do not involve me, as far as where they can be better. And I try my best to build a bridge for that to happen. Work in progress. 9 years later, work in progress. So there's that. You can still be a parent and be a great single parent is my point that I'm trying to make. I will never put a man I want to get to know before my children's needs and priorities. I'm not saying my needs and priorities are second best. I'm not saying that, but I think as a mom and to these single moms out here, I know, parenting and being single can be lonely. But at the same time, I'm at a point now where if a man cannot be the man in my life fully, and when I say fully, meaning not just romantically, not just, hey, can you help me fix this in the house? Not just, you know what? I want to go catch a movie. I want to go to the bookstore. I want to go out to lunch. I want you to come with me. If he cannot be all of those things for me, and I can't sit and watch mob movies or documentaries with him, or Animal Channel, or pick his brain on a deeper level than WYD, I don't want him. Like, there's no urge in me to call somebody at the beginning of my day or end of my day. There's no urge in me to get dressed up and go out to eat and sit across from a man that I don't like intellectually. I don't want to hang out with someone who quote unquote likes me if I do not see myself building with them in the future. It's not where I want to pour in my time at. I don't. And so until someone tickles my fancy in that way, or I come across that individual and they live about 30 minutes from where I reside, because that is also important. I do not believe in long distance relationship. I think long distance relationships are trash. I will never do that ever again in life. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't connect with women that are like, you know what, I want to go on a date. I want to get on this dating app. I need to go meet someone. My clock is ticking. My clock is not ticking on anything. Because if you're mentally, emotionally not excited, not ready, not there, whose clock is ticking? Whose clock is ticking? Because I'm not on that clock. And we have to be honest about the fact that we have personal work to do before we can ever invite anyone into our space. Okay? I'm not the mom that's going to be momming laid up in my bed with a single man with my kids in the house. That is not me. That is not who I am. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying I wouldn't schedule someone to be with my kids while I get dressed and pack a bag and go out to a man who has his own place as a single bachelor and go relax with him in his space. I'm not saying I want to do that. I will do that. But I have no intentions of having a single man laid up in my house with my children there, and we have nothing else going on together. Like, I have no interest. Most of these men out here cannot do what they need to do for a woman anyway, and they suck at it. And I'm just tired of engaging in a lackluster session. I'm tired of it. Like, what did I get out of this? Was it really worth it? No, I really want my time back. And that's how I be feeling. And ain't nothing worse than just like empty affection. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Ugh, this is just what it is. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. It doesn't. I rather have another bowl of cereal because that will fill me up a bit better. And so that's that's just where I am with that. I think I have my hands full at the moment. I think spending and self-caring and buying my things that I like, the things that I like, is better than me spending it on someone who's a big question mark in my life. And so, yeah, I have been treating myself, okay? Teaching other people how I maneuver through my parenting thoughts matters to me as a creative, and that's why I do Cozy One Podcast. You can still create and you can still express yourself. You can still do for yourself. I've been consistently getting these hands and these feet into the nail shop, regardless of me being a single mom and me being single. Like, just because you're single doesn't mean you don't take care of yourself. Just because you're single doesn't mean you can't work out for yourself. Just because you're single doesn't mean you can't dress up just because. Okay? I still go to the grocery store most of my time. I still go to Target most of my time. I still enjoy drives by myself. And my mom being here has helped me have those days by myself where my kids don't always have to be with me. And I have a new 9-year-old who sucks at math in school like I did. So my focus has been making sure she's doing her extra math at home with me or with her grandma. I do not want to pay out of pocket for a tutor, but I'm at a point where if you need a tutor, we can do that, you know? She has been spending a lot more time with her dad. Her dad recently moved back to Atlanta. Did I spit on myself? What is that? Her dad recently moved back to Atlanta, so she's been spending some of her weekends with him. So that's good for them. I do not want to join in. I do not want to chaperone. I do not want to be the driver to that. And that's most of where my frustration is. with him, he never does anything solo. It's like, this person is coming, or I need you to do this, or in order for me to do that I have to do this. Like, nothing's seamless with him, and it's a headache because I'm just like, grow up and do it yourself. What do you mean you can't find your card? What? It's like a teenager, and my mental capacity cannot handle the childishness that is his life. I can't. And so I try to stay out of it as much as I can. I have a very impressionable 5-year-old. So I'm in here watching what I say, watching what I do, watching what I wear. She's recently been writing marker on my pillowcases and bedding. Why do you do this here and not at your dad's house? I don't know, but that's a whole nother thing. I'm preparing for a recession. My rent has gone up, so I am focusing in on, Chantal, how can we get more money in this household for you with all the things that you do? So that is my focus. That is something I will be brainstorming in December. I am treating myself good. Okay, I'm about to get back on my treadmill life, because I've been slacking for months off my treadmill. I'm not used to not using my space completely, so that has been an adjustment. I've been definitely trying to figure out a new approach on how I would want to do the seasons next year. Please take December to self-care for yourself. Update your resume, save money, work a side hustle. December is going to be very cold. Again, update your tires, check your brakes, change the oil in that vehicle. Catch up on these Cozy Womb podcast episodes. I will be YouTubing whenever I feel a creative bug come up in me in December while on my break. YouTube is very exhausting at times, with the process of editing and uploading things, but I'm gonna give it a whirl for December. For now, let me finish painting these ornaments with the girls. I promised them to paint ornaments today. But I've really enjoyed myself this year podcasting for an audience. I want to thank Good Pods for putting in all their votes for my episodes this year. I hope they don't get rid of Twitter, because that's where I spew my most ridiculous thoughts. You can find the Cozy Moon Twitter up on there. My Instagram will still be up. I will be updating the cover art, so do not look for the blue cover art come next year, because it will be different. Every season I change the cover art. And there's going to be some great episodes for you guys for next season 18 for Cozy Moon Podcast. I appreciate all the listeners. I want to grow the podcast a bit more. Hopefully I can get some guests on next year for the podcast. All the new podcasters that I've come in connection with this year. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for giving people the real on this parenting stuff, whether you're single parenting or you're married or you're an old school parent or you're a grandparent. All of the information is appreciated, and I think it's super important that we recognize that this is a creative outlet, but it's also a responsibility factor to not come on this mic and spew incorrect information. And I just thank everybody that's been coming together and sharing their best and giving their best and giving their time and being consistent, because it's not easy being consistent. I tell people all the time, there's no way I would be able to push out these podcasts, these multiple podcasts from shambypotting.com along with this one, if I was in a relationship, how y'all be in relationships and marriages. There's no way. Because you need your time for other things. You need to pour in other things. Being that I'm by myself, I can do this. And until I am ready for that in my life, I will be here on this mic doing this. So thank you for listening to Cozy Womb Podcast. Don't forget to catch up on the episodes. This whole podcast has been brought to you by Red Circle. Red Circle is a web-based platform that, hosts a lot of podcasters and gives me a lot of opportunity to run ads. Next year, I would hope that anybody pushing anything parents can use, any products or kids can improve on with their learning, let me know. You can run the ad on Cozy Womb Podcast. I would love to run the ad on Cozy Womb Podcast. A lot of you guys sit on great ideas and you don't share it, and I don't understand why. Okay? But other than that, my name is Chantal. If you want to connect with me, my email is cozywombmama@gmail.com. You can find me on shambypodden.com for all the updates. I appreciate you, and I will check you guys next year. Please be safe. Please cover your mouth, and please don't get what you cannot afford. Them kids do not need it. Peace. Bye.
Bye.